Hello, welcome to another edition of Spoiler Alert. So I am here to do The Flash, episode 16, Run Iris Run. So, again, this must make a lot of people mad. Like my brother, I spoke to him about this episode, and the last one actually, and he is pissed. He really hates the fact that they give Iris so much credit and that she can do these things. I'm going to go over what me and him talked about after, but first and foremost, let me give you my thoughts on the episode. Okay, the fact that they gave Iris Barry's powers, it was a nice change to see her actually out there fighting the crime, or seeing how hard it is, how it's not easy, and how difficult that he has his job. She tried, and she was actually messing up really bad. But again, it was her first day being a superhero. He has actual, what's the word? He had actual time and experience, and that's the word. Experience being the Flash to grow, and he made mistakes along the way too. So I'm not thinking too much about the mistakes she's made. So, okay, by her and Dibny arguing, I didn't really think he had a point to make. I didn't think she had something to prove. Like, she was out there during Salvatore, which is what she said at the end, but I thought she should have said that earlier. Like, she was risking her neck. Like, she refused to hide away. Like, you know how Dibny is living in the basement? She refused to do that. She's like, if Salvatore gonna come, let him come. She went to work, did her job, talked to them. She wasn't afraid. She knows how it is to put her neck on the line. So why would she have to go out and prove it? And then just being the reporter for The Flash put her in another crosshair. I didn't think she had to prove anything to him or anybody else on the team, but she felt like she had to prove it to herself. And I think the writers did too. They feel like they have to prove something to some of the fans who actually are mad that she gets so much credit and that she's now the new leader of the team when she doesn't deserve any, right? Or what they believe that she doesn't. So she proved that she actually will and willing to be out there and risk her life and her neck to save the world or the city. As far as making the tidal wave that Barry was never able to create, or tsunami or whatever. He made a tidal wave before, so I don't know what they're talking about, but okay. This is one thing that made me mad. The fact that Barry told her he wouldn't ask her to give back the speed. Like, well, what? Excuse you. First of all, the speed was his. It's not like he was asking her to give back a gift he gave her. Like, he proposed to her, gave her the ring, and was like, yeah, give me the ring back. No! You got something that did not belong to you, that belonged to me. Obviously, I'm going to ask for it back. That's like me giving you my laptop, and next week come by, and I'd be like, oh, I wasn't going to ask you to give it back. Like, I'm going to just let you have my laptop. Like, please. Makes no sense. Like, what? That bewildered me. Like, that would be okay for you to be a regular human now when you can get your powers back that belong to you, but you would allow someone else to keep it just because they want it. Who would not want that? If that was anybody else but Iris who loved him, they would have kept that powers. She only gave it back because she loved him. So you mean to tell me that he would have allowed someone else to keep his powers? That is a stupid move, Barry. Come on, man. Come on, son. You get one of these. Now, next, Harrison Wells and him getting so ultra smart. So, I think it was really smart to not use dark matter. Cisco, really good job and good thinking, because, again, the dark matter that he used for the thinker that he used for his body is actually starting to kill him. If he was so smart, maybe he could have thought a way not to do that to himself, or to fix it after he did that to himself. But I guess that's the Ralph Dibny part of having him last and use his body. Excuse me, what the hell? But yeah, that was really smart not to use dark matter, and now he's actually a stable brain that's really hyper intense, so he can actually think and not kill his body with dark matter and flood it with it. So, a lot of things that they're worried about him becoming evil. Because if your mind can think so fast and think so logically, you tend to get rid of good and evil. There's like no sides anymore. There's just logic. And logically, sometimes the bad thing is the logical thing to do. Doesn't make it right, but sometimes it's more logical. So they're worried that he would get in his head logically that he should be ruler of the world. Or logically, he deserved the money that's in the bank. You know, anybody can make anything sound good with logic. Or make sense if you know how to use logic properly. But yeah, that's what they're worried about. Now, if he does get smart enough to defeat the Thinker at a thinking game, how would they even beat him if he beats somebody who can think of everything? I don't know. Really. Now, what I wanted to say is Savitar. I don't think they had to make Harrison Wells really, really smart for him to beat the Thinker. I don't think so. So how did they beat him? Maybe Savitar just did it himself, you know. Just kicked his butt. Maybe the helmet thing worked when they first made it on him. Actually, that could have been it. I already answered my own question. Next on the list. Oh, I forgot what's next on the list. Let me take a little peek. I'm going to edit that out and just like put it in the bloopers. The last thing of this one was Melting Point. The new team member, Melting Point, and Wobie is contributing to the team. Now, they want him to take the powers from him. Okay, here's the problem with that. He's not actually using powers to take anything away from people. He's actually using the chair. So taking his powers wouldn't stop him. Because even if he got close enough to take his powers, he would still absorb him and take over his body. And then give him Melting Point's power. And then at that point, he can take back the powers. So adding Melting Point to the team will make a difference if the chair's not around. The chair is what he will use to suck out his brain or his essence and jump into his body. Which isn't a power. It's science. So Melting Point will play a role, but he actually needs more backup. It can't just be him, because he will lose and be the next person that he just absorbs. So I guess it's a good addition to the team to actually have someone who can actually do things like that. But I don't see his greater use against the Thinker yet. They need another piece of the puzzle to actually defeat him. And I keep looking in the middle. Sometimes I just gotta get used to it. But yeah, I was thinking about putting this up today. I'm still a little new to this. Shortly, I actually will be coming up with my intro and my outro for my videos. Tell me what you guys think about it. I have some in the works. And I'm going to be redesigning my YouTube page to make it look a little poppy. Or just poppy. I did the hands, but you didn't see it. But yeah, this one is not that long. Apparently I have more to say about the Arrow than I have with the Flash. I actually think that's because I've actually watched more of the Arrow. No, I watched more of the Flash than the Arrow. So I was catching up on Arrow, and then I had a lot of, as far as to go back to the discussion I had with my brother. So, again, despises Iris. He despises her character. He doesn't hate the person, he doesn't think she's ugly or anything. He just thinks that she plays no role. Like, they put her there just for namesake, because she's Iris Allen West. Just because she's supposed to be his wife, and that she gives nothing to the team. He's mad that she wasn't even part of the team before Iris was there. Before Barry got in prison. And then all of a sudden she's the leader. And then now she comes up with plans that some of the smartest people in the world can't come up with. Like, I understand his point. Yes, these people are geniuses. Yes, they come up with things that people can't even dream of. But sometimes it takes a different perspective to actually see something that's right in front of your face. Like simple ideas. He showed me a meme the other day about the nuclear fission bomb. It said Cisco thought of it, genius who actually made the spear that had his DNA in it, and he didn't know what to do. One, I think that's wrong, because Cisco, his idea was to teleport it to another Earth, but he couldn't use his power because he needed time to actually make a wormhole, which he couldn't make. So he had an idea, just couldn't use it. As for Caitlin Snow, who is brilliant as well, had an idea. Same picture says I don't know what to do. She tried to freeze the bomb, but it was too hot already. So her body heat, it was too high, and she was dying because as Killer Frost, she has to be in frozen temperature, not too hot, because she can die from being too hot. So she wasn't able to withstand the heat to cool it down. So she had an idea again too, but the bomb got too far along that she couldn't withstand the heat to cool it down. So she had a plan, just couldn't fulfill it. Next, they used the original Flash, Jay Garrick. Said he didn't have a plan. He didn't know what to do. He was like literally the guru of the Speed Force. He actually did not know what to do, but he knew not to throw it in the Speed Force, which was his extent of his guru knowledge for the Speed Force. Just not to throw it in there. I don't know how you can call him a guru, or he's not even a genius, so I don't know how you can bring that, and they brought his years of experience. Sure, but he never came up against a nuclear bomb. But then, Harrison Wells is a picture. He says, I think I know what to do. He had a few seconds to think of an idea to stop a nuclear bomb, when, in fact, he was awoken. He was rambling about his daughter, or how he had to get her to safety. So the first thing on his mind was his daughter. He didn't even give his full brain power to actually think of a way to stop the nuclear bomb. So his idea was to throw it into the Speed Force. He thought that the Speed Force could contain the explosion. I don't know. That could actually have been a good thing. That it may have been able to contain it. If it can hold the time quake or the time storm, I keep changing what I call it. Why could it not hold a nuclear bomb? But whatever. Then they didn't go with that because, again, Jay Garrick said that was not the right move. So they did not go with that move either. I want to, by the way, add, all they had to do was go get Wally and have the third lightning bolt. But whatever. Then they go to Iris, and he says they tried throwing lightning bolts, and then she came up with the idea to use the lightning bolt from the Speed Force. Now, that doesn't take anything away from anybody else and what they thought of as geniuses. She thought of a way for him to use a lightning bolt with so much power without having 3 speedsters, because they were talking about lightning bolts. It's not like she just came out of nowhere and was like, get the lightning bolts from the Speed Force. No. He said he couldn't generate enough lightning by himself. She thought, where would we get more lightning? The Speed Force. Because of the dang time quake you had. The time storm. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to stick with time storm and use that lightning. How is that far-fetched for someone who, with deductive reasonings, to be able to come up with? She's a reporter. She has to be able to string things together from the smallest clues. Reporter, detective. She's a reporter. Okay, she has to write a story and connect the dots. So I don't think that's so far-fetched that she would be able to come up with that. Like, I think that was an easy one. I don't think that makes her smarter than all the geniuses who couldn't get it right, or them any dumber for not coming up with the idea. She got the context clues, and then she made the right decision. I think that there's nothing wrong with Iris knowing that. And there's nothing wrong with her having the superpowers and having to be the leader of this team. Like, I kept telling my brother, being the best, the smartest, doesn't always make you perfect for leader. I think the leadership quality that she has, she can keep everyone together and focused. And on a goal, he says Joe would have been better, but Joe is always quiet when he goes into that room. Joe has never been the one to put himself in front and try to rally everyone. Joe is the one to try and hide everyone behind him and be the shield, which is what Joe is, but that's not going to be good for him to be the leader, because he has to be able to rally everyone and be able to have them in the front lines and be able to be hurt. But Joe cannot do that. Joe is the protector. He wants everyone to be safe. So I don't think Joe should be the leader. Honestly, if I'm honest, I think that Barry should go back to being the leader. Yes, Iris was the leader when you were gone. Fine. I'm back now. So, it makes a little sense with her "we are the Flash" thing. So when Barry's not there, she should be the leader, or when Barry's out. But Barry should have the first say. He's the hero. He's the leader. Hell, even Cisco. Because again, Cisco makes most of the plans and the ideas and the costumes, and he puts a lot into the team. But Cisco's not always focused. So I can see why he's not the leader. So I would like you guys to comment on what do you think about Iris. I'm guessing that if I do get any comments, it's going to be a lot of comments against Iris. I have not really met a lot of people who like the role that she's playing or where they went with her character. But I'm interested to see if anyone actually does. So yeah, so this is my spoiler alert. Until next time.